how do we turn that frown upside down? How do we get rid of that negative Nancy inside of us and actually bring out the positive Pete's instead, right? But before I even go into that, why am I making this video? Why on earth I need to show people how to be positive? Yeah, are people really struggling on how to be positive? Do people not know how to be positive in situations? And quite honestly, yeah, people really suck at being positive. There are definitely just really negative, really awful people out there who, in my opinion, are just life-sucking. Like, they walk into a room and you just feel their negativity. They just suck your soul out of you, right? And I don't blame them. Society definitely nowadays are so negative. Everything they talk about is just negativity. You look on the news, it's all just a bunch of bad stuff, right? So before we even go into that, why? Why do we want to be positive in the first place, right? Definitely, I heard the body sends 11 million bits of information to our brain every second. Sounds cool and all, but the problem is our brain can only process 50 bits of information per second. So we're very, very limited to what we process. That being said, whatever you focus on becomes your reality. You focus on the good, you get the good. You focus on the bad, you get some pretty bad stuff, right? So I urge you to look at the positive side of things. So definitely, I know a lot of people are always saying, oh, it's so hard to be positive, so hard to be positive because if this happened, that happened, and I totally get it. There's a lot of other factors like people. Sometimes I always hear about people that they can't be positive because of other people, right? Very disrespectful, very frustrating, just annoying people in the world that just pisses people off that you can't be positive. And I get it. There are people out there, I've experienced it myself, definitely. These people do deserve your negative side, right? Some of these people really deserve to get punched in the throat with a chair a few times, you know? But stop and ask yourself, what person do you want to be in life? Do you really want to walk around radiating negativity, just anger and animosity? Or would you rather come from a place of abundance, you know, joy and happiness, positivity instead? Just really ask, which person would develop better relationships? Which person would develop better results in life, in career, you know, in love? Which person will get more out of life? And ask yourself, who do you want to be? But don't take it from me. You know, I'm not any expert of any kind. I'm just some Asian dude on camera, right? Take it from my mentor, my really, really good mentor. I grew up with him my entire life. My parents really forced us to hang out all the time. His name's Buddha, right? But he said it best. He said, holding on to anger is like grabbing a piece of hot coal with your bare hands and trying to throw it at someone. You're the only one getting burned at the end of the day. So definitely just ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to have? What kind of person do you want to be? So that's why I developed this, my 2-step guide to helping you transform any situation into a positive one. I'm going to let you in and become a sorcerer of positivity, right? Yeah, transform any situation, anyone you like, into a positive one. So definitely, step 1, ask yourself, how can I be grateful for this situation? Gratitude is a very, very powerful thing if you can grasp it and use it. Coming from a place of gratitude can quickly change any situation into a positive one. I remember in college, one of the most stressful times in my life was actually studying for finals. I remember it was my second year. I was taking my Spanish final, and I was stressed out of my mind, like pulling my hair out, right? First of all, because I was procrastinating. I should have been studying a lot earlier than I was, and now I'm just cramming. And then, second, I didn't understand any of it. It was Spanish. I should have stuck to Chinese. Should have took a Chinese class instead, right? I'm already struggling with English, you know. Now I'm gonna be learning Spanish. What? And I was just going crazy because I didn't want to fail. You know, Asian parents, right? I was really, really scared. I was young. I was really, really scared. So what I did was I stopped and I asked myself, how can I be grateful for this situation, right? Even though it seems very stressful, upsetting, with myself at least. How can I come from a place of gratitude? So I thought, I'd rather be stressed over my Spanish final than being stressed over whether or not I'm starving today or I'm starving tomorrow. I'd rather stress about my exam than stress about whether or not I'll be able to sleep under a roof tonight or not, right? I was so fixated and stressed over something great. Education. I was stressing over education. Some people don't even have that. Some people don't even they don't even get to even have a taste of that. But I'm stressing over it here. And when I had that shift of gratitude, I understood that no, this is a great thing. I'm happy to be stressed about an exam, right? I'm happy to be able to learn a new language. And when I came from a place like that, I was more excited. I was more happy to be learning Spanish, right? ¿Dónde estás el baño? Oh man, I was ready. Yeah, I was ready in fuego. I was ready. So I came from a better place. Taking an exam, I definitely still failed it. But I overall had a blast learning the material, and I was happy about it, even though I didn't do so well on the exam. Versus being stressed and just pulling out my brain, just being a life-sucking person in the classroom, you know? Alright? And then step 2. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? Right? I remember one of my biggest arguments with with one of my best friends, Chris. I was in the college days. We were living together, and I remember I woke up late, so I was hogging the restroom, getting ready, and ending up making him late. I came out, and I don't know, he's just screaming at me about me hogging the restroom. I'm screaming back at him. And I remember I was so heated. I was screaming, I was yelling like really mean words. I was yelling in Chinese. I'm kidding. I was really bad. And just that day, leaving the apartment, going to class, everything, I just felt really horrible. Like I was so mad at him. I was like, I'm right. You should have just woke up earlier if you want to use the restroom. It's not my fault. And just the rest of the day and then the week was just really horrible. And I just said, stop. Like this doesn't help me in any way. And I asked myself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I grow? How can I develop into a better person because of the situation? All right? How many times do we have situations and experiences pass by in our life and we don't ever learn from it? We just think that we know everything already. We think that everything we already learned everything. We don't need to be better. And for that, we don't become better. Right, so when I asked myself, what can I learn from that situation, I knew that I had a sleeping problem. I needed to sleep earlier. My sleeping pattern is not only affecting my health, my education, but my relationships. Right, something that I can have control in. And when I knew that, I was more conscious of my sleeping patterns and how it can affect the people around me. And from coming to a place of learning, I knew that I had more control. And I'm excited to be able to take more control of my life, my skills, my decisions. Right, coming from there, the situation just became a positive one. And from there, I knew that I was at fault, and I was able to mend my relationship with Chris. Coming from the place of learning as a student, growing, now I'm just a better person overall because of the situation. So those are the 2 questions that have really helped me in my life to really transform any situation into a positive one, because you can. You honestly can. Just ask those 2 questions. Any situation can be a positive one, no matter how bad it is. I know it sounds crazy and all, but it's very true. You have control over that, right? And at the end of the day, no one can but yourself. So I urge you, this is some homework assignment for yourself. And go out there and think, What was a situation that you were upset about, you weren't too happy about, that you want to transform into a positive one? Ask yourself those 2 questions. How can I be grateful for this situation? And what can I learn from it? How can I be a better person than who I was before the situation? Ask yourself, right? So thank you so much for tuning in on this video. I had a lot of fun sharing my stories and experiences with you. Definitely like, share, comment. Let me know what you think about the video, what you think about my 2 questions. You hate it, you love it, I need to leave YouTube. Tell me something, right? Definitely subscribe if you haven't. And please share. Send this to any friends and family you think will benefit from it. Send it to all your negative people, right? Your life-sucking people, in my words. And I hope to hear from you next time. And I'll see you next week. I'll be putting out another video as well. But last thing, always remember to be happy with where you are right now, but be even more excited for where you're headed. Thank you.